Good day, everyone, and welcome back to the Stretford End. This is the Manchester United Euros show. And as I have said before, we are going to speak about the players that are involved in their countries that have played for Manchester United. So, without further ado, today's first game, we are speaking about Wales versus Switzerland. And as we all know, the players that represent Manchester United are Daniel James and Dylan Levitt. And as we well know, Daniel James is a winger, and Dylan Levitt, being an academy product, who is a central midfielder. So, moving along to the team that they are playing, which is Switzerland. So, apart from the players of Switzerland, we know that Xherdan Shaqiri is there, and most definitely he is a player that can cause Wales some problems. But Wales do have players of their own that can cause problems as well. Players such as Daniel James and Dylan Levitt, but also Harry Wilson, Bobby Moore, and of course, the all knowing Gareth Bale. So, with Wales, they are a very, very difficult team to break down. And they seem to be a team that can push on and be the dark horses of the tournament. But they're also a team that can fall apart when pressure is put on them. They do not have the strongest defense in the tournament, but they do have grit, they do have grind, and they can definitely push on and perhaps get into the knockout stages of the tournament. Starting today, they will have to play well because Switzerland is not a team that they can just push over. They are a team that will definitely try and set up defensively because they know that the players like Daniel James and Gareth Bale can run in behind with the pace that they have. We know that Harry Wilson can, pick out the pass, in the final third, as we've seen in his games for Bournemouth. And we've also seen, players like Bobby Moore, who's very good in the air, that can definitely be at the end of the crosses that Daniel James would put in. And we know Daniel James has pace, so he would always love to get in behind. And that is something that Switzerland will have to look out for and definitely fear, because I personally feel that Daniel James is the fastest player at Manchester United. And that is basically because of his height. He takes smaller steps, but because of the speed of that, he basically gets across the ground much quicker. Marcus Rashford recently has also stated that Daniel James is faster than him. And we have seen how fast Rashford is, but he has said Daniel James is faster than him. So in terms of the last results that Wales have had within before the Euros starting today for them against Switzerland, they basically had a international friendly which they played on the 27th of March against Mexico, which they won 1-0. And that basically shows that they are not a very good goal scoring team, but they are solid and they can definitely win, and grind out the result when needed to. The next game they played was on the 30th of March, and that was a World Cup qualifier, and that was against the Czech Republic, which they also won 1-0. And this was a very tough game for them because they had to really grind. I watched the game and I saw that players like Daniel James did not really impact the game as the way that they would have wanted to, but they have, done enough for, the 3 points for them so that they can have a better position to qualify for the World Cup. Moving along on to the 2nd of June, they played France in a friendly and they lost 3-0. And that basically shows that, against the more top teams, in terms of the Euros, they basically, one, don't really stand a chance, but they do not have the qualities, as these countries have, or the players for that matter. But as I have said, they do have players with grit and grind, and players that will work hard from the first whistle unto the last, to ensure that the team performs well and that they can get the result that they needed. The last international friendly they had was against Albania, which they drew 0-0. And again, goal scoring is a problem for them. And we hope that that doesn't, affect them in today's first game. We hope that because it is an actual competitive game, that they can actually, put the ball in the back of the net. We know that Gareth Bale, what he can do, taking players on, shooting from range, set pieces is a danger in the air as well. So Wales will definitely try to look to play through him, but they will also like to play through Daniel James, as I have said, because of his pace. It is definitely good to use on the counter attack and definitely a tool to use when you are trying to soak up pressure and just, have that out ball, because Daniel James will run and chase lost causes. He's also very good at pressing the ball from the front, as we have seen, when we decide to press against teams that have played against us. And it has been said that Daniel James is the best presser in our team because of the way he presses and because of the pace that he has, in closing down, the opposition defenders. And this has come to a very good asset to use, because if they win the ball high up it definitely can cause problems for Switzerland because they'll completely be out of position. Most of their players would be completely, not even goal side. And this can definitely be a tactic that can be used by Wales if, having possession does not work with the technical players that they have. Moving along on to Dylan Levitt, who is a central midfielder and an academy product for us. He is very, very good on the ball technically, has got very good vision, is very good at winning the ball, has got a great aggressiveness about him. And from what I've seen in the academy, he's basically, done well for us. He looks to seem to be the next Michael Carrick. I know that Jimmy Garner, has been played and portrayed in that mold as the next Michael Carrick, but Dylan Levitt seems to be more of that player as he doesn't seem to go try to close someone down. He looks to cut out passes and close spaces rather than getting into a physical fight. And when he does get into a physical fight, he tends to win the ball. So that is a very good asset to have. And I don't think Dylan Levitt would actually start today, but I feel that he will be a very good part for the squad for Wales as the tournament goes on, as he has got very good energy. And again, because of the grit and the grind that he has as a Welsh player, he definitely will be a very good asset to have, in the second half of games if Wales are trying to hold onto the ball, if they are in the lead, but also if they are trying to win the ball back, if they are trying to close from, the opposition team down. So as I've said today against Switzerland, they'll have a very, very difficult game, but I do feel that Wales can come out on top. And yes, because of their last previous results, they've just scraped through and got the result. I feel today might be the same. And I do hope that they can, have a very good performance and build on it for the games to come. For the next show, we'll definitely speak about England and Croatia, which is tomorrow, which is one of the big ones. And we know that we have a lot of players playing for England, that represent Manchester United with the likes of Marcus Rashford, etc. But we leave that for tomorrow. And I trust that you guys will enjoy the game later on today between Wales and Switzerland and definitely see Daniel James and hopefully Dylan Levitt in action. I thank you guys for joining me, and I definitely would like to see you guys soon in the next show that we'll be having tomorrow. That is it from me and the Stretford In and Manchester United Euro Show. Thank you for joining. Goodbye.